he finna set the record straight among those who did the dirt in the community, because those were the actual infiltrators in the Nuwaubian nation. He knew who they was the whole time they was there, but he had to leave them there in order for us to get to the point where we can see how they work. So when he gonna send y'all a message through the young elder. For y'all who know who young elder is, he gonna send the family message. You probably won't get the message, because that's who the message is gonna come through, from Malachi. So I don't know if it's gonna be for the public or just for the family that's close over there where he at, but he gonna get young elder a message to give him. I don't know young elder, never met him. I heard him a couple times on YouTube, but that's what the message is for the Nuwaubians, right? Yep, the young elder on YouTube. Malachi sending Nuwaubians a message through young elder, right? And I don't know if it's going to be a public message or a private family message, but young elder going to have a message for the Nuwaubians, and it's going to be fresh. So tomorrow, we're going to get into the cyber parade and the hashtag Free Larry Hoover. It's going to be more than one hashtag opportunity on the Free Larry Hoover thing. Look for the one with the most posts under it and use that one. But use all of them if you have to. It don't even matter. Because they say free Hoover, right? So we all standing on this shit. This ain't for the motherfuckers who came on slave ships, who don't feel like that they got no stake in what's going on over here. We just ask that they respectfully stay out the way so they don't get stepped on in the process of the come up. Because we don't want no innocent motherfuckers. It's the worst thing you could do is make the innocent pay for the dirty guilty. Right? So you can start now if you want to, sweetie. We can start whenever y'all get ready, but we just don't stop. Every time you do a post tomorrow, hashtag Free Larry Hoover till we bust the algorithm, hit them some bitches right in their pockets, because they don't like nobody fucking with their money. And Larry Hoover is not tied to any fundraisers, right? Yep. I've been getting the word that it's on the TikTok. I don't know what Twitter doing with it yet, but we just got to go whatever motherfucking social media you get on, spread the word. Because we going to hijack their motherfucking social media. We only trying to get the message to us. Because we don't care about nobody that's sitting up in the tent on our property. Right? So we cleaning house. So we don't care about them. We only care about us. We care about how many of us is paying attention. How many of us we can get the attention of. Because it's our shit. If it ain't their shit, they don't, we don't have no problem with dealing with them later. But for right now, we need to get the message to us. Organic motherfucker. Alright. So if Brother Umar Johnson want to be unapologetically African, we don't mind him he can be as African as he like to be. But while these organic motherfuckers from this land is on the move, stay your motherfucking unapologetically African ass out of the way before you need to apologize. This ain't none of his business. This don't have nothing to do with him. If he was a real Pan-Africanist and a real Garveyite, like he say, he would understand what a confraternity is, and he wouldn't be in our business trying to tell us that we came on a goddamn ship packed like a sardine, the most dumbest shit a motherfucker could possibly come up with, and believe, and talk about he's educated. Talk about he's got a scientific mind, and that he can't be manipulated by the white man. Well, the white man got you thinking you came on a ship. You can continue to believe whatever you want to believe, just stay the fuck out the way of the organic people of the land. That's all we asking. We don't care how many of you niggas want to be unapologetically African and Afrocentric, right? We don't have no problem with none of that shit, Because we was already doing business, trade, and intermarrying across the water before we both got sacked on both sides of the water if y'all not paying attention. Right? But this ain't got nothing to do with that. Right now, this got something to do with the organic people of the land, Big Mama boys, cleaning Big Mama house up, and letting the rest of us know what's going on across the land. We finna hit these motherfuckers in their pockets, because we gonna make them motherfuckers scream. Right? So, just let it be known. Right? We don't care if you unapologetically African or if Afrocentric, I'm a Pan-Africanist, Garveyite too, but I ain't from Africa. Right? Because the Africans all told me, that all of the Pan-Africans of knowledge, of learning, told me we was already here. Y'all already at home. What the fuck is you talking about? Right? Go back and read the indigenous books, they'll tell you. So they came up with all these color codes, skin colors, paper bag clubs, right? They separated us by skin color, the light ones versus the dark ones, and the Willie Lynchism, all that bullshit. And y'all niggas are still falling for it. I don't got nothing to do with none of that shit. It got nothing to do with me. The only thing got something to do with me is Big Mama told me to tell y'all who the chiefs of the land is and let y'all call them motherfuckers to the forefront. Because when y'all call them to the forefront, they got to tell you what the fuck is going on the land, who responsible for the dirt being done, and what we gonna do to clean this shit up. That's all I care about. I don't care if your ass came from Mars, Nibiru, Pluto. I don't care if you Ashtar Command, Pleiadian, Arcturian. I don't care if you a Wookiee. I don't give a fuck if you Jabba the Hutt. It doesn't matter to me. As long as you don't stop us from doing Big Mama job, what she sent us to do, I wouldn't give a fuck. Just stay out the way and it's all over. Ain't nobody gonna be left behind. Because she saying no guys and no little yous. You don't treat people the way they treat you. Because if you treat people the way they treat you, you're gonna be a tyrant. Goddamn right we ain't black. Right? Black don't have nothing to do with skin tone. Right? They called us blacks because they attacked us. It's a chess term. And they called themselves white because they was the attacker. Right? And we thinking it means skin color. You know, I done seen some dark motherfuckers. My boy Taz told me on Taz TV, he said, man, show me a black motherfucker. I found purple motherfuckers, navy blue motherfuckers, hot chocolate motherfuckers. I never found a true black motherfucker. Even when they dark as hell, they got some kind of tint that let you know they ain't black. Some of them got blue tint, some of them got green tint, some of the motherfuckers got purple tint, but none of them motherfuckers look like hope. None of them don't look like, even the darkest one look like dark chocolate, like chocolate with no milk, right? So, the crazy thing is, I mean, shit, melanin itself is not even black. Melanin is a dark chocolate brown, darker than chocolate, like coffee, like black coffee. If you put it in the sun, you're going to get a brown tint. Right? So, white represent death the whole time. All that shit represent death in the sense that it's a mental death. Because the mental death allows you to take a half a concept and give it a whole false identity, which causes miscalculation. And as long as you generate the miscalculation, then somebody can use the miscalculation to mislead. And this is where the problem come in, because we too quick to jump on top of some shit, some bandwagon shit, and don't want to ask nothing because we don't want nobody asking us nothing. I got informed because I wanted to be able to inform. I went and informed myself so I knew what the fuck I was seeing, even if it didn't sound right to nobody around me. But I had to go and inform myself as to what they was doing so I can inform y'all of how to undo it. Now we gonna kick them in the pockets. So this is the part of the game where you get to see them buckle. So a couple of updates for y'all. As of Friday, the corporation that was defunct has no more finances. So they head into the close of business today to come up with some money that they didn't ever come up with. So on the Pluto return, which is tomorrow, which is George Washington's birthday, who is the motherfucker who issued the challenge to the Moors and the indigenous to tell us who we wasn't and who they were, right? All of this shit, my mama used to tell me all my life, what goes around comes around. All of this shit that went around is on its way back around, and it comes through a Pluto return. That's some heavy shit, right? So we got the 2/22/2022 portal. We got the Pluto return on George Washington's birthday. George Washington issued a challenge to the Moors and the indigenous because they thought we was the same, but we ain't. And when they found out now that we ain't the same and that I can tell the difference between us and them wherever they meet. And when they send they motherfucking, because Elijah said the last trick the devil gonna do is to just freely offer you his woman. But he ain't never tell you his woman was gonna smell like a half a cow. Right? Because our women believe in yoni care. Like that's like a big thing because the yoni is the portal of life, and the portal of life is a sacred place. And the desecration of a sacred place comes in the form of mastectomies and hysterectomies. So if we understood that by watching how our people move, watch how they move, we reverence the womb and they despise it. That doesn't make sense. How do you despise the womb when you come from one? But they don't have that respect for the womb. They got a greater respect for the phallus. You can't grow in the phallus for 9 months. It's just not going to happen. Right? So we can push this patriarchal bullshit agenda, or we can go back to us. I vote for go back to us. So I tell y'all the secret. The secret is them niggas that don't want to be black don't have to be black. You know, because all of us wasn't intended to be in the war. All of us wasn't part of the war. You got to remember, everybody didn't sign treaties with these motherfuckers. Some of us ain't never stopped fighting. That's why they got blowed up shit all over this bitch. Flooded out cities all over this bitch. Castles that's abandoned all over this bitch. Because all the motherfuckers that lived in the castles went to fighting Seminole Wars. All the motherfuckers lived in the castle went to fighting Seminole Wars. Ain't nobody staying in Big Mama house if Big Mama ain't safe to come home. That's just the way it is. We ain't letting nobody stay in there, and y'all ain't either. Right? So some of them, they turned into prisons. Right? Them the ones that they didn't know what to do with. They turned them into prisons. Stinking ass motherfuckers. But I'm making shit up. When you can go look at this shit. You can go look in the Smithsonian and they got all of the artifacts to tell you that we was over here the whole time. Right? That this has always been the great melding pot. That's not a Eurocentric terminology applied to the land. That's their understanding of the land before they ever came here. Right? Then also, this motherfucker over here didn't believe in, if you had a voice, unless you proved yourself to be a liar, your voice had legitimacy until we can analyze what you saying. We didn't just take your word for it, but we didn't discount what you said. We went and used it as a foundational tool to do a research to determine if we need to pay attention to what the fuck you saying. Because you might be telling us exactly how to get out of the problem, but we so used to now listening to the other man that we don't give a fuck what's going on with the brother man. Right? So, in academia, they was calling us Negroes, the coloreds, the African Americans and all that shit. But in the hood, we was greeting each other. What's happening, brother? What's going on, blood? Wait a minute. Brothers. That's what Stones, Vice Lords call each other. Blood, that's what them Bloods in LA call each other. Wait a minute. We've been knowing who we was the whole time and been calling ourselves who we were without even knowing we was identifying ourselves to one another in the presence of everybody, and they made fun of us and called it blaxploitation. Pay attention to the exaggeration, because the exaggeration is the thing that says pay attention. And if you pay attention to the exaggeration, you'll find a whole revelation of a nation that's been percolating under the bottom the whole time. Talking in ghetto code, did it eat that, as motherfucking Gil Scott would say. Right? So, the parents got a language. The children got a language. They don't always speak the same language, but the children normally know what the parents is talking about. Right?
Patriarchal.
Everywhere where the women had power, they put me in there.
And
That was,
I know you
that's
go
what,
over this question a lot. You answer this a lot. Why is the music industry how it is today? But if you want to drop it for, you can.
Go ahead with the rest of it. It's drugs, what?
Oh, drugs, killing, etc. Oh, it ain't showing you the whole questions?
So the music industry is how it is today because it was created by the same people that was overthrowing our system, that was occupying our land. When you go back, it's a movie on YouTube about the origins of Hollywood. You'll see the double head Scottish Rite flag being marched down Hollywood streets when it was a dirt road.
Word.
Because they the ones who created Hollywood. Hollywood is a mass mind control mechanism.
For sure. The holly tree is like that's what they use for wands. So they
Magic
just
wand.
spells. They casting spells all day.
That big old castle that used to be Disney, that was what we called the big house. That shit wasn't built in no 1900s. Nobody used that construction style in the 1900s.
It's like
that's what we call it in modern times, old Gothic construction. They don't use that. They haven't used that construction style at least since the 1000 AD mark. So the castle of Disneyland had to be there at the soonest it could have been built is around the year 1000 AD. So it's at least 1,000 years old. We all left the big house to come fight the Seminole Wars. That's why it was empty when they got there.
Wow.
Most of us don't know. I did a whole video showing the castles on the land. Most of them they turned into prisons.
Because they already had the walls.
Yeah. They put the bars up later.
Wow.
They put the bar. They used to be living quarters. Right? And
the live will be saved. The live will be saved.
So it goes back to they burned our cities, they flooded cities out, they sunk cities under lakes. All that's just to keep us from knowing who the fuck we is and asserting our rights to the land and nullifying the unum sanctum decree.
Penitentiary. Yeah, that etymology, breaking down words is crazy. Once I got tapped into that, you stop calling yourself smart. Stop calling, you know what I'm saying? It's like they really flipping everything. They really flipping everything. Got us out here casting spells on ourselves. This one just says they discontinued the show because they found the information on Bobby Hemmett speaking on Lovecraft.
That's totally possible because Lovecraft and American Gods got a lot of information in it. And Bobby Hemming wasn't no slouch. He was putting all of the pieces together. When he got a clip.
And with American Gods, you saw they kicked Buddy off. Orlando, they kicked him off.
Oh yeah,
start dropping too
that's
much.
because of the character that he played. That's the worst motherfucker. That's the nigga that's gonna be telling y'all how to get y'all shit back. They didn't want that character portrayed from that level of self-control, clear, cognizant thought, and deliver such a potent message in media. It's a movie with Cicely Tyson and I think Robin Gibbons. Robin Gibbons tell her that she just don't want to be black, so she try to claim she Indian.
I know which movie you're talking about.
She ad-libbed her response.
She ad-libbed it?
Yep. That was spontaneous. That wasn't in the original script. She stood up and she said, "Look at me. My father was full-blooded Iroquois." Right? And then she went to give another family's message.